My next guest is going to be making his UFC debut next Saturday, UFC 282. It's Steve Koslow joining me here on the program. Steve, how are you?
I'm doing good, brother. I appreciate you having me on.
No problem. Hey, happy to talk to you, man, especially with this fight coming up really quickly. When did you find out? When did you get the call that you were going to be in the UFC?
I got the call yesterday around 5 o'clock. Or no, not yesterday, Tuesday at 5.
That's awesome. What was that? Who's the first person you told? I mean, this is a life-changing move for you.
First person I told was, my fiance was sitting right next to me whenever I got the call, so she was the first one to officially know. Next to one of my really good friends, Mitchell Chamali, that has been helping me out and with my career for past
Fantastic.
7-8 years now.
Good stuff. Was this something you were expecting? Like, did you kind of get the heads up that you were on a short list, or was this a complete surprise getting on this card?
Yeah, so I've been actually waiting for this call. This is my third time picking up like a short notice call. The first time was against dude. I think they wanted me maybe to fight Mario Batista earlier this year, and I think I was too heavy around that time, so I couldn't do it. And then I was really kind of mad at myself because I feel like I let the opportunity slip out of my hands. So I started getting my weight down and just being prepared. And then the next time was the last fight that Calvin Kattar was on, the last event.
Yeah, Arnold
night.
Allen. Yeah.
Yeah. They wanted me to fight Christian Rodriguez, and I was down. I accepted. My manager hit me up. He's like, "Hey, man, be ready." And I was cutting weight all the way up until that Wednesday. That Wednesday, they let me know that they chose someone else. They ended up choosing some Weems or something. But man, I was really let down, and ever since then, I knew it was going to be a matter of time before I get that third call. Here it is.
How frustrating was that though? Like, you think you're going to fight and you're having all these emotions, and then they tell you they pull the rug out of you, not once but twice. How difficult was that?
I mean, it's definitely annoying because I was getting ready for a fight around that time, the last time, and I completely canceled everything and focused on the UFC, acting like I was already there, and I ended up not making it. And I had to cancel the fight that I was going to do, before that. So like I was about 10 days out from a regional fight, and then they asked me to do that against C-Rod, and they didn't choose me, so I kind of canceled everything and just picked it back up.
So, and again, they tell you who you're fighting. Did you know much about your opponent before accepting this fight, or is it one of those things now you're kind of playing catch up to figure out who he is?
No, I mean, I asked who it was, and they told me who it was, and I said I looked him up for a split second, and I said, yeah, let's do it.
Are you one of those people as well? I'm sure throughout your career, you got to kind of focus more on what you're good at, because I'm sure you've had opponent switch ups all the time in the regional scene.
Oh, of course, yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah. So yeah, nothing new for you here. Does it excite you a bit more? You're fighting a fellow undefeated fighter that you can hand him that first loss. Does that add a bit more to the debut?
Yeah, of course. I'm really stoked for this fight. I get to fight another undefeated stud. So I guess that'll bring the best out in me.
And I know you're obviously in the gym, always training. What type of camp have you had leading into this?
Pretty much just been living the lifestyle this past year, getting ready for something like this to happen. I've been kind of manifesting this for a while now. So I've just been preparing every day, slowly chipping away at my readiness, just getting more and more prepared. And I feel like I manifested this,
And how much of a benefit as well, if you want to take a glass half full type approach, that you had those two missed opportunities? Because, some guys, when they get that call, they're really heavy and they're having to cut weight. I'm sure your weight's a lot better now, and you don't have to cut as much weight going into a debut, which is probably a bit more ideal, right?
Yeah, exactly. That first time I was a little heavy. Second time I was ready. Now that just prepared me for this time.
Third time's the charm, as they say, right? So you mentioned training at Fusion XL. Who have been some of your main training partners helping you get ready for this fight?
Well, I just finished up some hard work with my coach, Julian Williams. A couple main training partners of mine is Lucas Alexander. He just got signed recently. He's helped me out tremendously. There's just So there's really more people than I can name. I have so many people helping me out here at the gym. There's this kid Joe that's, super super. I don't even think he's fought he hasn't even turned pro yet, but he's a stud. I got so many guys that are just unheard of that are helping me out. That are going to be in the big show soon.
How's the weight right now? Obviously, you feel like it's good, but everything on track for next Saturday?
Yeah, everything's going to plan.
Good. Love to hear it. And who's going to be making the trip with you as far as your corner?
I'm going to have Mitchell Chamali, one of my good training partners and a mentor of mine. He's going to come out with me. I'm going to have Lucas Alexander there and Julian Williams there, my coach.
The first round finishes seem to be your thing. What are you expecting next Saturday as far as your prediction for the fight?
I'm expecting him to, be strong and try to implement his game plan. But from what I've seen, it's kind of cliche, but I feel like we're both going to get a good fight out of this. I was going to say he's never fought anybody like me, but I have to almost expect him to be the best, the best in the world. So that's what I'm preparing for. I'm preparing for somebody very good that I'm going to have to use all my tools for. I'm manifesting a first round submission finish, like always.
I want to go all the way back to the beginning. You and I have never talked before. What initially got you into combat sports?
Man, it's a long story. I could start, with my family, my brother. When I was 9 years old, 8 years old, 7 years old, he would always, play fight with me and taught me how to fight. He ended up passing away around 9 years old for me, and it hit me really rough, and I was kind of lost as a kid. And I found karate around that time. Did karate for a few years, put it down, kind of dicked off as a little preteen, adolescent. And around 15, I really started, I met some good friends that were doing MMA, and they told me to come to the gym. So around 15, I started training full time. I was a sophomore, junior in high school, and that's kind of all she wrote. I was going to a alternative school, so really I had, it was kind of like cheat codes. Like I would go to school, finish up my work at school, and my teachers would say, hey, if you have an extracurricular activity, go do it. So I would so since sophomore year, junior year of high school, I've been doing this full time, really.
Good for you, man. That's great. And being, starting with karate, did you gravitate more towards the karate fighters when you were watching MMA, or did you have any sort of favorite fighters that really influenced you?
I'm not gonna lie. I have a lot of good fighters, favorite fighters. Obviously one of my favorites and idols is Khabib. I always try to emulate Khabib because I think he's, the best in the world to ever do it. I like Islam, his proteges. But I actually look up to a lot of people in my division. Chito Vera. I look up to all kinds of guys. I like Brandon Moreno a lot. I just, there's certain guys that I like how they fight, but I just like them sometimes. I haven't met them, but I just, you like who you like.
And I'm sure you will meet them at some point because you just mentioned Chito and Moreno. They're both rep by your same management group. How did you end up signing with Iridium? What was the story there?
Yeah, I don't know. I was always told I needed a manager, but I always kind of was playing the waiting game. Kind of waiting for somebody to say something that I like. Really, I guess. I turned down a lot of guys, a lot of first round management guys. I've had like 4 of them hit me up. A couple other people I did, but whenever Jason hit me up, I looked who it was. I seen that he was really genuine, and I have a good mentor of mine, Mitchell Chamali. I asked him, I said, what do you think about this guy? And I also have one of my best friends, Trey Waters. He hit Trey Waters up around the same time, and Trey said, okay, I'm signing with him. So, and I got to kind of see from the outside how he treated Trey and the opportunities that I got him, and I thought it was good. I got to sit down and have dinner with Jason. He came to town, had dinner with me and Mitchell, and I got to meet him and his fiance, and we just vibed.
Good. Yeah, I was going to say, well, it's worked out. Iridium's known for getting fighters in the UFC, so it obviously worked out well for you. And we talked all about fighting. What else do you do outside of fighting? Do you have a job on top of fighting, or did you? You mentioned being full time at training. Do you still have something on the side to pay the bills, or what are you doing right now?
I mean, yeah, I worked construction a while. I've done little odd jobs since I was, a teenager. Tree work, construction, hard labor. I sold weed for a long time. I've
Yeah, I
gone
like
out
the
to
honesty. Yeah.
Oregon and I've gone out to Oregon and grown weed for for a while and figured out that that's not really what I wanted to do. And this is what I want to do, until I figure out something else, until I have maybe some children or whatever. I'm going to do this the best I can.
When like, are you still doing work as you're training now, or since you got the call, are you kind of just full force in this?
No, I got all my eggs in this basket.
Love it, man. No regrets. That's great. And I know you don't get much free time, but what do you like doing when you get that bit of downtime? Are you a video game guy? You Netflix? What do you like doing when you get that little bit of free time?
Honestly, I like to just kind of cool it with my fiance, like just chill, really decompress. I like to watch, old school Cowboy Bebop. I like 90s anime a lot. Every now and then I'll play some Call of Duty with my nephew. He's like 11, and
Yeah.
he's always wanting to play some Warzone, some Call of Duty. He's like, Uncle Steve, you want to hop on the game? So yeah, buddy, let's do it. Now I'll play for like an hour or so, and then kind of decompress.
We're looking forward to it next Saturday, man. UFC 282. This is a stack card. Steven, thanks so much for doing this, especially so close to fight time. If there's anyone you'd like to thank before we get out of here, any sponsors or any social media you want to plug, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, I have a lot of people I want to thank. I'll keep it short. I want to thank my grandmother for always believing me, casting that voodoo. Everybody knows what I'm talking about if they know me. My grandma does voodoo. My grandma do voodoo like the Fulio song. He's from Jacksonville, so I got to represent. My mom, she's always believed in me. My late father, he's always believed in me. My sister, my brother, my fiance, my boy Mitchell Chamali, he really helped me out get my mind right for this one. Obviously, my manager Jason House. There's so many people I could thank. My coach Julie and my teammates. My Instagram is Stephen Koslow _ I just made a Twitter. It's the same thing, Stephen Koslow _ I don't have Facebook because I don't like Facebook.
Yeah, it's a waste of time. Good call on that. There's nothing good about Facebook these days. So
Yeah, I don't really use social media a lot. And I stay on Instagram, but I try to stay off of that.